What's up everyone, welcome back to a brand new video. During the last part, we got to see Bardock establish his rebellion more and more by also recruiting more people. Two of those people were pretty important, Paragus and Broly, and now with them on his side, he has high hopes for this rebellion. It might actually work out. He was feeling unmotivated, but now he's reinvigorated. But it seems things are about to take a turn for the worse, because Captain Ginyu actually stumbled upon their planet. What's going to happen next though? We'll be covering that and more in this part. For this video, let's set a like goal of 3,500 likes. If we hit that, I'll continue with another part of this series. Anyways, let's pick up from here. Ginyu heads towards the planet, wanting to check it out. He's confused, and he begins seeking out those powers that he sensed nearby. His scouter stops going off. That's odd, he just saw the powers on there. Did they just disappear somehow? It can't be that someone's suppressing their powers, right? I mean, how would someone even do that? And that's the thing, Ginyu's not suppressing his. The group knows that he's here, and they immediately suppress theirs. What the hell? Is that Captain Ginyu? Why is he here? Okay, maybe this is just a coincidence. Maybe he just so happened to stumble upon the planet and they don't actually know what's going on here. If so, not everything is lost. They just need to work intelligently. As Ginyu begins looking around, suddenly his space pod explodes, and immediately after, his scouter explodes too. Muesli and Granola are nearby, using their sniping abilities to destroy these things. Destroying the scouter means they cut off all of Ginyu's communications, and just to be safe, they did the same with the ship as well. And now, none of this is going to be relayed to others, and Ginyu has no way of contacting them. But this immediately puts him on guard. But before he could do anything, everyone begins attacking him at once. If they all gang up on him, this will work. He doesn't realize what's going on, but then he sees. Is that a Saiyan? Wait, no, there's multiple Saiyans. There's a lot of them here, actually. That makes no sense. Besides Vegeta, Raditz, and Nappa, there shouldn't be any Saiyans left. Frieza killed them all. What the hell is this? There's even children here, and it's not just Saiyans either. But he can't spend time thinking about what's going on because he's being attacked from all angles by multiple different strong fighters. Although, thankfully for him, help is arriving pretty soon. He did contact the rest of the Ginyu force before he landed on this planet, so even though his scouter's destroyed, at least they'll know to come here still. And maybe with his scouter being destroyed, this will make them come here even quicker, knowing to be on guard as well. And the group senses this too. Bardock can tell that something's amiss. And the rest of the group can sense it as well. There's more powers approaching, and it's not just one, there's 4 of them. That's the rest of the Ginyu force. Ginyu must have warned them before landing on this planet. He's smart. Although, things aren't going to go their way. As their ships enter the atmosphere, Muesli and Granola do the same thing. Right through the glass on the front of their space pods, they're hit by sniper shots, destroying all their scouters, also injuring them as well because they're being shot right in the face. Besides just their scouters exploding, then their ships explode too. They're sent rocketing towards the surface of the planet. Getting caught in the explosion of their ship, now having no scouter and being disoriented. They're able to recuperate pretty quickly, but getting hit by this off guard, it actually did some damage. And they see what's happening with their captain as he's being attacked by a bunch of people at once. But there's no need to worry. The Ginyu force is here. They don't even have time to strike their pose though, and this angers them. They try and strike the pose, but they're immediately attacked. How rude of them. It just makes them even more infuriated than they already are. So, an all-out battle begins between the Ginyu force and Bardock's rebel group. They know that there's snipers somewhere too, and they do try and find them and attack them, but there's no way of finding them. Muesli and Granola keep moving around, and whenever they do even try looking around, the Saiyans attack them up close. It's a pretty effective strategy. I mean, they are snipers after all, so they might as well make use of that ability. But the Ginyu force starts to use their techniques. First is Ginyu himself. He turns towards Bardock, who appears to be the strongest here. He has an opening, stealing his body, completely changing the tide of the battle and confusing everyone. Of course, he doesn't have access to Bardock's full power, but still, the boost is significant enough to make a difference, and now they actually have to fight Bardock of all people. Ginyu is elated. This guy is strong, and this is really going to help them. But then Gine steps in alongside Kakarot. They tell the rest of the group not to worry. They'll face Bardock or Ginyu or whoever this is. And Ginyu's surprised. These two think they could take him on alone? They can't be that strong. I mean, it's just a random Saiyan woman and a child. But little does he know, these two have been training for a while. Even though Gine might have not been a warrior before, she definitely is now, and her strength is pretty apparent. And as for Kakarot, well, he's Bardock's son. Of course he's going to be strong. With all the training he's been doing alongside this group, he's able to fully show off his powers here. One of the groups fighting is Likantora versus Guldo, and he's actually a big problem. He might not be strong physically, but his ability to freeze time, that's pretty powerful and pretty annoying. They need to deal with him as quickly as possible. Time keeps freezing for everyone during the battle, and they're wondering what the hell's going on. These two are trying to stop him, but whenever they try attacking him, he's able to dodge by freezing time. Although at one point, he unfreezes, and then a sniper shot goes right through his head. That wasn't too bad. Muesli takes him out, and now the Ginyu force is down one member. Next, Jace and Berta are defeated, and then eventually, Recoome is defeated as well, thanks to a combined effort from Broly and Paragus. But there's still Ginyu. They can't kill him, and they can't really defeat him either. If they kill him, well, they're killing Bardock, that's his body. And in terms of defeating him, he is pretty strong. But now with the rest of the group freed up, they can actually all fight together. That makes this a lot easier, and Ginyu begins to panic. Even with this great power, he's gonna need to abandon this body. But he could just steal another Saiyan's power. I mean, there's plenty of strong warriors around him, plenty of options for him to choose from. But as soon as he tries to steal another body, Bardock then jumps in front of it, getting his own back. And thankfully, Ginyu was so hasty that he didn't injure himself before swapping bodies. But Bardock does exactly that. When he successfully jumps in front of Ginyu's body swap, he simultaneously injures himself, piercing a beam through his chest. It was a risky maneuver, but as soon as the body swap is completed, Ginyu then falls to the ground, bleeding out. Ginyu and Kakarot then step over to him, with the rest of the group looking over the dying Ginyu as well. But he's laughing. Even though they might have defeated him in the Ginyu Force, Frieza's definitely gonna come here soon. He may have not alerted Frieza yet, but they're stupid to think that Frieza won't get suspicious. He sees what's going on. They're trying to start a rebellion, but it's not gonna work. They are strong, he will admit it, but they were only strong enough to defeat the Ginyu Force, and just barely. That's not actually true. They weren't using their full power, they say. But Ginyu says it's hopeless even with that. Even if this is only a fraction of their strength, even like 20%, it's not gonna be enough to defeat Frieza. They feel like he's bluffing, but they can't really tell. And he begins laughing even more. Lord Frieza will be victorious over them, no matter what happens here. Alright, this guy's kind of annoying. Ginyu launches a beam, killing him. And now the Ginyu Force is completely defeated. But what he said might actually be true. I mean, they don't really know Frieza's strength, and Ginyu might know it better than anyone. Of course, they're not too sure. Maybe he is bluffing. Maybe he's just saying that so they'd be scared. Right now, they are only using a fraction of their power. That wasn't a lie either. I mean, they didn't even have to go into grade 8. Plus, they're definitely gonna get a lot stronger by the time Frieza gets here. They do have to heal up after this after all. And they still have some time to train. Even if Frieza arrives here immediately, they still do have time. Plus, who knows when Frieza will even get suspicious and come here. Maybe he might not even be the one to show up, he could just send other people. But this could work in their favor. They whittled down Frieza's forces, and no one knows what's going on. They're able to work quickly, and it's good. The Ginyu Force wasn't able to contact anyone, meaning that Frieza's still in the dark, at least for now. But time is working against them. Now, they can't just wait it out. He's definitely gonna notice. He's gonna see that the Ginyu Force just randomly went off the grid, and he's gonna figure out why. He'll find their last known location, or at least a general area, and maybe he'll come over here and survey it. They need to start preparing. They don't know what's gonna happen next, if anything. But even if nothing happens, it doesn't matter. They at least need to be prepared regardless. Bardock stands up, making a speech to the rest of the rebellion. He tells them bluntly, this is the turning point, and there's no going back from here. Either they abandon this planet, or they stay here and stand their ground. But regardless of what they do, they're gonna be found out by Frieza. He's gonna know something's up. He's gonna know that someone killed the Ginyu Force. Even if they do leave here, he's gonna figure out that someone died here, and someone was here. The fact of the matter is they're no longer under the radar. Well, at least for the next few days they will be, until Frieza actually gets suspicious. So they need to start working a plan. They could keep using this as a base though. I mean, Frieza knows that they're gonna be here regardless. They might as well make use of this base instead of moving to a completely different one. That's just gonna waste more time if anything, even though it might delay Frieza finding them. They have to consider all their options, and now they start butting heads and thinking about what to do next. A few days have passed. Back at the Frieza Force, Frieza's wondering what happened to them. I mean, he hasn't heard from them in a while. Of course, they kind of do their own thing anyways, and he just leaves them off on their own. Maybe they're off on a mission somewhere. He's not too suspicious yet. But it's strange. He does try contacting them just out of curiosity, and there's no answer. He's heard rumblings too. Apparently, all of the Ginyu Force converge on some location. No one knows what happened there, but they might have found something. Again, it's all speculation, and he's not too suspicious yet. But as days keep passing, he begins wondering, what happened with the Ginyu Force? Did they desert them? For all he knows, maybe they found something important and they abandoned the Frieza Force so they could take it for themselves. Or they could have been killed. Or maybe things are okay and he's just overthinking it. Maybe there's a reason for this to happen. But first, he has to find out where they actually disappeared. And then he can start trying to figure out why. He begins looking into it. Zarbot and Midoriya are able to find their last known location, or at least the general vicinity of it. That's weird. It's near planet Cereal. They wonder if that has anything to do with it. But that doesn't make sense. Why would they be near planet Cereal of all places? As he looks more and more into it, he's getting even more suspicious. But he's not going to act on it yet. He does have one idea though. So the big problem is that he doesn't know what happened here. There might be a risk there. There might be someone there that killed the Ginyu Force. Or maybe they just disappeared completely. And since there is that risk, he might as well send some expendable soldiers out there. Best case scenario, he finds out what happened, and these soldiers solve the problem. Worst case scenario, well, he loses a few expendable soldiers that he didn't want anyways. But they still need to be decently strong. I mean, either way, this could benefit him, and he could play it in his favor. And this is assuming that there's a threat there. There might not be anything there. Or for all he knows, they're going to be attacked by the Ginyu Force. Maybe they turned on the Frieza Force. And he has the perfect group of people to send over there. It's a dangerous mission, maybe, So, the Saiyans should be the ones to check it out. I mean, they're powerful, they could solve this, and if they do die, who cares? Frieza doesn't care if the Saiyans die of all people. They have been useful for him, but if they're gone, that's actually better if anything. He doesn't have to worry about them because he knows that they could be a problem in the future. Of course, it would be a shame for him to lose some strong soldiers, but it's only 3 of them and he can replace them easily. He gives them this task, telling them he wants to know what happened with the Ginyu Force. Vegeta, Raditz, and Nappa are suspicious. I mean, they could probably figure out what's going on here. It shouldn't be too hard to see through Frieza. And as soon as these 3 are assigned this, they begin discussing. Maybe they were assigned on a suicide mission. Maybe Frieza expects them to not come back for this, or maybe it's nothing. Vegeta has no idea, but they can't be too sure. Raditz floats an interesting idea, but he kinda doubts it. What if someone did kill a Ginyu Force but they're not an enemy? What if they're an ally? Someone trying to stop the Frieza Force? I mean, they kinda wanna do that in the first place, but Vegeta kinda doubts that. It is near planet Cereal, so what he assumes is maybe one of the Cerealians survived, and they were somehow able to kill the Ginyu Force. And if one of them did survive and actually do that, well, that's gonna be a problem for them because who killed the Cerealians? It was the Saiyans. But there are other options too. I mean, what if it's a Saiyan out there? Raditz does know that Kakarot's out there somewhere, but that doesn't make sense either. Why would he be this far out in space, and why would he be killing the Ginyu Force? How would he even accomplish that of all things? I mean, they're not even strong enough to take on the Ginyu Force. What would Kakarot be doing? They begin trying to think, who would even have a grudge against the Ginyu Force or the Frieza Force, if anyone? But more importantly, who would be powerful enough to even do something to them? They could be walking to a trap, or they could be walking to a bunch of new allies. They're being cautious, but they know if they don't do this, Frieza will probably kill them for not following his orders. So either way, they don't really have a choice. They need to buy some time for now. Or they could use this to their advantage. They could fake their death here. I mean, maybe that's what the Ginyu Force did. And if they do so, they can be completely free of the Frieza Force. They still don't know what they're up against though. Regardless, they're gonna have to be very careful. Reluctantly, the 3 of them head out. Back on this planet, the group is doing more intense training. Again, they don't know when to expect anyone to arrive, if anyone actually is going to arrive here, but they need to be prepared regardless. At their current powers, if they were to transform into great apes, Bardock's confident that they might actually be able to kill Frieza. I mean, according to Ginyu, it seems like he has power beyond his current level. Bardock hasn't sensed it firsthand, but from what he's heard, it's pretty high. It's about 500,000. But if that's only his starting power and he can actually go beyond that, that's going to be an issue. I mean, look at them. They've learned to suppress their powers. Frieza probably could do the same thing too. And who knows, it seems that he's rumored to have some transformations too. So these suppressions of power aren't just like theirs. There's something completely different to the point where he needs transformations to suppress them. On top of that, they don't know how many transformations there are. There could be 1, there could be 2, there could be many. They're all just going off rumors right now. But with all of them together as great apes, plus whatever other power they have such as muesli and granola, they might be able to work something out. Manaido's monitoring from afar. Of course he's not involved in the fights. But while they're focused on their training, he's monitoring space, trying to see if anyone's coming near them, and he could sense something. He senses a few energy signatures, 3 of them. Wait a second. Okay, these aren't incredibly strong, but they definitely feel a little bit malicious. And the thing is too, there's multiple of them. It's likely that these are Frieza soldiers sent out here. Maybe they're just sent here to scout the place out. Okay, this could work in their favor. Worst case, they have to fight a couple of weak soldiers. Best case scenario, they could actually hide out and act like nothing's going on here. And maybe those soldiers will just leave not questioning anything. They'll do the latter since that seems safer, and it might buy them more time. And as they hide out, Bardock and Ginyu sense something strange. One of these powers feels very familiar. I mean, they only really learned to sense powers recently. But they note this and Kakarot does too. Of course, it's not a power they sensed before, but it feels familiar to theirs, like it's related to them somehow. Wait a second. If these are Frieza soldiers being sent out and one of them feels like this? No, there's no way. There's no way they could have gotten that lucky. They're still gonna wait it out. And eventually, 3 ships land on the planet. And sure enough, it's exactly who they thought it would be. 3 Saiyans step out. Vegeta, Nappa, and Raditz. Raditz was the one they were sensing, just like they thought. Bardock communicates with everyone. Hold their fire for now. And they're in luck. They don't have their scouters on their face just yet. But Vegeta pulls one out. And right before he puts it on, Bardock jumps out, telling him to stop. Vegeta can't believe what he's seeing. A Saiyan. And most importantly, Raditz reacts too. Quickly, Vegeta puts the scouter back. Raditz is amazed. His father? Bardock greets them. He says they were gonna look for them, but, well, it's complicated. He's gonna have to explain later. Wait, we? What does he mean? From hiding, the rest of the Saiyans step out. They can't believe it. Especially Raditz. His whole family's there, even his mother. She wasn't even a fighter before. Not to mention there's a Namekian and a Cerealian. Actually, 2 of them. There's a kid there too. What the hell's been going on here? And, all at the same time, Paragus sees exactly who arrived. Vegeta. With the Saiyans finally being reunited, and with everyone seeing who's alive, this is where we're gonna leave off for now. So, what do you guys think about this part? Or what do you think is going to happen next time? Leave your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below. I'll be sure to check them out to see what you guys think. Especially leave what you think is going to happen with Paragus and Vegeta, because that's going to be important. As always, if you liked the video, be sure to drop a like. And let's try to hit that like goal from the beginning of the video so we can get another part of this series. If you haven't already, why not subscribe? As well as hitting the bell icon to be notified about any future uploads on my channel, including more parts of this series or any videos like it. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.